so check them. I don't feel great about it. Somebody did text me last night and it was like, Eagles are the obvious pick, right? And I was like, I don't think so. But
we're live on the scope.
We should be, and on the YouTube. Let's see. You checking scope?
I'm checking the scope right now. Yeah.
And I'm checking the YouTube. Let me find the comments here. It's usually good because people start telling us when it looks good or when it looks bad.
My Periscope got disinstalled or something. What is going on? I guess I haven't used it on my phone in a long time.
Yep, looks like mine's rolling. What's up, everybody? Sunday Night Football.
What do we... Okay, let me see if I can just load it.
While you're doing that, we should mention our locks of the week didn't hit. Not either one of them. I actually felt
a lot of money today.
Yeah. I'll actually tell you, I felt better when the Rams didn't cover after the Ravens pushed. Because that was just an L, right? Like, the Ravens should have covered 14 points and didn't, and that was very frustrating after RG3 came in and basically punted an interception. But that's not what we're here to talk about.
Did he have an interception?
Yeah,
he had an interception.
He threw
RG3
a pick. It was like 2.5 minutes left. They got the ball. He throws a deep ball. Now maybe
were they just going to run out the clock?
Maybe it was a punt anyway.
I didn't know that. I was like, how did they get the ball? Oh, I was confused because I wasn't. Okay. Now I'm even more pissed. I just thought
that's why I kept texting you like, RG3, what is he doing?
Were they showing that game on the Red Zone?
They just showed RG3 into the game, and I was like, oh no, there's only one reason to show this.
Well, it's kind of an FU from Harbaugh, right, to put him in against the Redskins. I think that's why he did it.
The Washington football team?
Because why else would you put him in? Oh, yeah, whatever the fuck they're called.
I mean,
God
just
damn
the
it.
big lead, I
respect
guess.
Rivera's coaching through cancer, but geez Louise. What's going on? Awful day. I mean, I picked the Bears. I bet on the Bears. I kicked. Fuck. I'm just not in a great place right now.
Well, there's a lot of games that were just. Is that why you're thinking about chasing it with the Niner game?
No, not chasing it. Yeah, I think that's a negative way to look at it. I just think
it's a desperate way to look at it.
Take a deep breath. Yeah, it's a desperate way to look at it. I don't feel great about this Niner game either way. The line got a little outrageous.
What is it now? 8.5?
It's 8.5. Yeah, I just I'm cool with staying away. We got 2 games tomorrow.
I know. What's the line on the Patriots game now, or is it not? Is there not one? I guess I could pull it up here somewhere.
Why did they? The line's 11.
Stidham?
I thought at first they were going to put the game like 3 hours before to do a doubleheader. They're not doing that, are they?
Maybe Romo can't get there in time?
Yeah, maybe it's just trying. Do you understand why they're kicking the game off at 7?
You mean as opposed to 4 local or something? 4 Pacific as opposed to like 1. Could you do it at 1 Pacific?
Well, I guess they're gonna have fans there, huh? Because I bet Clark Hunt doesn't want to kick it off. Because I was like, well, to them, why would it matter if they kick it off at noon, right?
Yeah.
Television ratings, they know put Mahomes on TV.
Yeah. Baseball start tomorrow? Unlucky break for baseball?
Oh my God. You get Rodgers and Mahomes, and they're not even playing each other. And just Belichick. I mean, say what you want. Like, Belichick moves the needle.
Plus, and we just get to see, we spent so much time talking about, I'm not saying Stidham's better TV than Cam, but we spent so much time talking about.
Well, wait, is Hoyer starting or Stidham starting?
Oh, is Hoyer starting?
I thought I saw that on Twitter.
Well, that changes everything. That changes everything.
I thought.
Do our commenters know? Hoyer. Roland says Hoyer start. Roland says on YouTube that Hoyer is starting.
Yeah, I think Hoyer.
James said Barry should play Trubisky in the first half of every game and then bring Foles in. It's not a terrible idea, soccer style.
They were pretty shitty today.
Apparently, the 49ers soccer team won this weekend in a big fixture.
I saw Jed tweeting about that. Before we dive into the Niner game, can we just acknowledge people are like, Biddle Cuff, so much hyperbole, so much emotion. Like Josh Allen, now.
Today people are saying that to you?
Well, just is a top 4 quarterback in the NFL. Whatever order you want to go, Russell, Mahomes, Rodgers through 2020. Like, I don't live game to game with Mahomes anymore. We just know he's in the top 3, top 1, whatever you want to put him. He's just a fucking elite. Rodgers, Russ, both elite. And then Josh Allen. 12 touchdowns, 1 pick, 70%, and he's got 3 rushing touchdowns. Like, he's making plays. He makes Mahomes like throws. I'm not calling him Mahomes, but did he not make Mahomes like throws today? Like, who else can make these throws?
I mean, to me, it's pretty simple, right? If we said, okay, quarter poll of the season, what are your MVP ranks? He'd be top 4 MVP. It'd be Russ, Aaron, him, Mahomes. That's what it would be.
Yeah.
And Mahomes in no particular order.
2 out of 3 games. Yeah. You could argue if you just the one game Mahomes, the Charger game, he made great plays in the second half, but it wasn't one of his good games. You could just say as a whole. Now, granted, he gets to play tomorrow, right? He hasn't played his 4th game. I'm just talking about 2020, just living in the present.
Yeah, but to me, what I'm saying is I don't understand how anybody could argue with you about it.
You know the quickest guy, I saw a stat to like 1,000 yards and 9 touchdown passes or something. It was Mullins and Mahomes. Did you see that stat floating around on the internet? It was something Mullins and Mahomes. It was Mahomes and then Mullins, quickest to get somewhere.
Wow. No,
I didn't save it. I was just it was one of those like I just scrolled.
The stat I saw today was Herbert. Did you see this one? Like, Herbert is the second most yards in his first 3 starts to start a career. Cam was the only one that had more yards passing in his first 3 starts. Cam Newton.
Who was second?
Herbert. Like, that was a Herbert stat, yeah. Who?
Gotcha.
So I know.
It was Cam Newton's the most yards through 3 starts ever, and Herbert's
2, yeah. You like
How many throw for today?
It was, I got it right here. What game was that? Where's Tampa? He threw for 290. Brady sneaky 369, 5 touchdowns. Did not feel that way watching it. Did it feel that way to you?
Well, he had the shitty pick. I mean, really, his arm strength is not it's not Breeze, but it's not what it used to be. Every time Mike Evans just make a play, like gets up gimpy, that's a tough SOB. Jeez Louise. He to me, he
Gronk
threw the 5
have a lot of
touchdowns
juice,
because they always ended up in the red zone. But I was like, I'm with you. It didn't feel like some vintage Brady ass kicking game.
Gronk doesn't have a lot.
I'm not
of
trying
juice,
to diminish him, but
do we? So let's talk about this game here because we got about 13 minutes before kickoff, and obviously we'll do the big podcast after the game. Do we think any differently about the NFC West today? Eagles struggling a little. The Seahawks struggling with the Dolphins, even though Fitzpatrick didn't throw a touchdown, and I know Kenyon Drake didn't do much because he was on my DraftKings. Good bounce back by you, by the way. And the Rams just not feeling it today against the Giants. And obviously the Cardinals got housed. Your Cardinals talk is looking better.
21st in the DraftKings game feels good.
Well, it's 150 people.
Yeah, but it's I had some bad picks. Yeah, to me I think we can just acknowledge the Cardinals are just who they are, right? They're a fun 7-8-ish win team. They have a fun quarterback to watch. They have some star players. Hopkins is banged up. But that's who they are. Then the other 2 teams, I was telling you before we hopped on, I do give, you're allowed to have shitty games throughout the season, right? Yeah. And win. That's usually the Niners last year when they started 8-0. Didn't they have against Washington? Didn't they win the game 9-0? Now I know it was in a rainstorm, but it's now you're just allowed weird games.
Was that before the Ravens game?
Yeah, that was the 4th week of the season, I thought.
Oh,
remember
that's right.
It was pouring rain, and they were slip and sliding?
Remember
Nick Bosa did the slip and slide?
Yeah, that was week 7. That's right, 9-0. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So it's just I just think you're allowed a couple weird games. If you win 11 games, 2 of your 11 wins are going to be against lottery, quote unquote, teams that you won by that you people like us fucking score a touchdown and they don't cover. You realize why coaches have because you just realize they're not going to cover because they're going to run, and I'm just screaming throw a touchdown.
The irony is the Ravens were covering and decided to throw the football.
I know.
The only thing that keep them from covering
it wouldn't
was
have mattered. The McVay, they had a pretty.
We didn't deserve that one.
Shitty effort.
No, we didn't deserve that. We've got to change it up.
I do. Here's what I'll say about the Rams. You have a tough loss, so you think they're just going to come back screaming. But like as Aaron Donald or Jalen Ramsey, when you watch the film, it's pretty evident they really suck. So to me, I always defend players late in the season, when they're like a 20-point favorite and they win by like 4, because they're like, well, the team's 1-10 and the coach is screaming at them like, we gotta double team this guy, and the player's like, God, that guy kind of sucks. He just played like fucking Josh Allen or Mahomes or something. He's like, Daniel Jones, he can light you up. It's like, no, coach, you can't.
Well, it makes you wonder, did the Niners was the fact that the Niners were so injured? Why is Liam wearing a Niners mask? Did the fact that the Niners were so injured help them? Like, as opposed to if you've got your full squad and you feel like we can roll this team, you've got all these. You got your backup quarterback, you're down a bunch of guys, and then it adds a little bit of appropriate fear, as Steve Kerr would say.
I do think when you look at the division, I think the Rams in Seattle, like, they'll probably split. And I think it's fair to say of the 4 times the Cardinals play the Rams twice and Seattle twice, they'll probably win one of those games, right? Wouldn't you expect them to win one of the 3 of those 4 games?
Yeah.
The Cardinals?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just
so
looking at
already
somebody.
You just got just teams kind of in chaos in the mix. I actually think the Dolphins, I put the Dolphins on another tier of like the Giants, the Jets, the Jaguars clearly aren't that good anymore. Like the Dolphins are, a scrappy 5-win team.
Perry, sorry, our title said Monday Night Football. It was just the old title from the last time we streamed. I didn't update it. Sunday Night Football. That's what we got. What do you think? So we got Mullins. Did you see it? Was it unanimous? I saw on NBC 76% of America took the 49ers. I didn't see if like all 8 people that they have on their pregame show took the Niners. But
I didn't see it either.
I'd be a little concerned if when everybody picks your team,
But to me, it's just one of those things like, why would you, unless you're just trying to be counterculture, like, why are you picking the Eagles? Mullins?
Yeah, I don't know. You're just betting on Carson having that. We talked about it a lot on the pod this week, right? You're betting on him having the one game every 6 weeks where he throws for 380 and 4 touchdowns. But Ayuk, Debo, Kittle all together. You know what I'm looking forward to, John, in about 3 hours is after Mullins has a good game, we have to talk about Mullins versus Garoppolo.
You
can't say you refuse because that's what Twitter's going to be for 3 hours if he plays well.
I'm just so fucking. I'm still pissed at the Rams. I can't believe they just showed up. To me, it was clear by
the Ravens
halftime.
Pushed. We would have lost either one.
But I also had like $350 on them. It
was
clear.
We should have gone with the Bills.
The effort was shitty.
Because one thing we might have to adjust here, right, is like these big lines.
There's a human element to these players.
Yeah, exactly.
There just is. And I think you saw with the Rams game, when they kind of tried, they could get what they wanted, but they weren't trying that often. I think the Colts, one thing is to keep an eye on when the Colts, if they're favored against kind of teams or small lines, their defense is really good. Rivers isn't that good, but they're a team that, like, if you can get good value on them, because they do have a good defense. Now, you could say Foles is bad, but I just think they tackle well. They're physical. Like, clearly who's more likely to make the playoffs, the Bears or the Colts?
Colts.
Yeah.
They're just more consistent.
I'm keeping an eye on Indy. I haven't been taking them seriously to watching today. I was like, I kind of like them.
The other thing with them is clearly, not that this is brand new information, but you can't judge Phillip on like the one. His worst throw is really terrible.
Yeah. Could be the worst of the day, right?
Of all quarterbacks, yeah.
It could be the worst play in the NFL.
It's just
Derek's a little pitch thing when he was
the pitch thing, but the forward progress. Land Clark blew that play dead.
That was pretty
Luckily
bad.
for them. Who do they have next week?
Chiefs.
Well,
short week,
Yeah,
Corona
you're right.
short
Super
week.
short KC.
Corona
week.
short week.
Yeah. You think?
What do you think Andy did today? Watch the Raider game? Try to take some notes? I think he got extra time. What's he doing? It's not like I saw all the Chiefs players were tweeting like, beautiful day for some ball. Like, they just want to play. It's out of their control. Like Patrick Mahomes, like, fucking gorgeous outside. Let's go. It's like, yeah. Patriots had to take 2 planes. They put all the Corona guys on the one plane. Did you see that?
What you mean the
They
guys
took
who
2 planes.
they weren't?
So everyone that they had contract traced that was close to Cam, they put the 20 guys on a charter, and then they just put the normal charter.
Isn't the whole team close to Cam? Like,
Yeah, you'd think they're throwing the ball. I don't know. Do you see Cam's Instagram post? He did like the weird writing. You can't. It's like, Cam, I want to read your take, but I can't decipher
this
this.
font is too difficult.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested on your, like, I want to read your take, but I get through one line. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Joe Burrow 4-0 against the spread, says Paul. Burrow looks good, man.
You did. Joe Mixon had a big fantasy day. They're another team, I think, that you start giving them like 10 points. How about this guy? I noticed some people tweeting overs. Maybe we should dabble into that. There are a lot of points getting scored
Any Cowboys game.
when they're playing a decent team.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe they'll just make it look good.
I've 2 weeks in a row, my best fantasy players, or 3 weeks in a row have been, or I guess 2 weeks in a row, have been playing offense against the Cowboys. Here come the 49ers through the tunnel. I love when you get the smoke from no crowd.
Can I just debunk a take I saw today?
Did they do this last week?
No.
No glass between them, I guess. As
Maybe
someone
they're
who
just
wore a
listening.
mask with a microphone this week, I can't mock them, but
Well, but maybe there just
Santa
wasn't for the 49ers that could be feasible for them.
this might be a Santa Clara County thing.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
They're gonna
This is California. Jerry Jones set a pandemic. Jerry Jones set a pandemic record. You see Ed Werder? Pandemic record, 25,000 people. I was like, well, hey, Ed, I don't know if you saw, but the Georgia game looked like they had about 80,000 people last night.
I do think some of those images, though, like if you shot it from the side, it looks. But yeah,
there was an image where like, God damn, there's a lot of fans there. And then I saw all the other like Florida fans like, they're breaking SEC protocol. We're not allowed to have that many.
Did you
fans.
see what happened at SMU?
No.
They cleared out the student section after the first quarter or at halftime because they weren't following protocols. They just emptied it out.
Well, what do you think's going to happen if you're going to allow the student section? Like, what novel what idea, like in the meeting room of the athletic department? Like, yeah, I think the students will listen. Like, yeah, it'll be no problem. Who won that? Did Sonny Dykes lose?
I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. I just know I know Oklahoma lost. Didn't look great. I know you probably saw more of that game than I did. But
I just saw like the later second half, and I'm not trying to overreact to 18 and 19-year-olds leaning out on the quarterback.
I mean, don't they have two? Aren't they 1-2 now?
Yeah, but I mean, it's just one loss is to Kansas State.
Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Should we get us?
Yeah.
I really, we've had the first 3 weeks. I felt like we've had a really good feel for the Niner game. I don't feel like I have a great feel for this game. So people were commenting on Periscope or Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Niners minus 8.5. I mean, I don't hate it, honestly, but SMU won, thank you. I don't have a great feel for it. Do you feel like you've got a good – I just went in doubt. I just think the Niners collective is just so much better than the Philly collective.
To me, I'd lean stay away on this game. Like, to me, this is just don't touch it because based on the last 2 weeks, Niners have been really good against two of the worst teams in the league. Two teams that are probably going to combine for like 4 or 5 wins total. Hell, the Jets might not win a game, and the Giants might win 3, so you're talking 3 wins. I do think Sunday night football for a team that's winless, like you saw the Giants today against the Rams, like you just get good efforts typically in the NFL, let alone on primetime games with a team with some good players. I would struggle with a backup quarterback to just give 8.5 points. I mean, we saw it today. You and me are fucking giving points with teams that we think are stacked, and it's like, fuck. You know? I think today showed the NFL like these winless teams just do have a little like some heart to fight for, right?
How about that Texans-Vikings game, right? Those were 2 0-3 teams. Somebody said it's not a Santa Clara thing. I don't know.
I just wonder if the booth, like they didn't have the booth set up. They don't have one that's just really big.
Yeah, maybe. No glass between them.
But really quick, can I get this takeoff? I saw this a lot. Like, only if Dak had more help. What more can Dak do? Like, guys, I watched 90% of that game. I'm not going to say, like, Dak's the problem, but let's not act like he couldn't have thrown 10 picks.
Well, first of all, I've taken CeeDee Lamb 4 weeks in a row in DraftKings and have not regretted it 1 week. I saw Amari make some sweet plays today.
Guy Amari's on pace for like 120 catches this year. He's balling. I'm not saying Dak is not a good player.
No, I'm glad you brought this up. I watch them and think they're stuck. Joe says it is a Santa Clara County rule. I watch them and think they're stuck because I don't know what they're going to do. Because he's not – he's clearly good enough to be your quarterback, but he's not elite franchise money quarterback, I don't think. Do you?
I couldn't pay him. Well, I mean, I wouldn't feel great about Wentz and Goff's contract. Why would I want to enter in one of those contracts with a guy I'm already on the fence of? But my point simply is today in a vacuum that, like, let's not act like he's playing a perfect game. I saw – how many balls did you see, like, hit other teams in the hands? Like, he does make some crazy passes. Now, his wide receivers – their wide receivers are fantastic. Like, if CeeDee Lamb is your second or third best wide receiver, you're in pretty good shape. They're fun to watch. Odell Beckham's end around was pretty sweet.
Shout out to Fox Force. That's our DraftKings winner there.
How much he win?
$337.50.
That's got to be a good feel.
Who do you have?
Could you go through his lineup? I feel like I'm a terrible fantasy football player. I really am.
You had Dak today, and he was good. He had Dak.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon got him 45 points. Amari got 36. Good. Odell got 38. CeeDee Lamb got 25. So that was his squad.
You see, they're winning games with Baker Mayfield throwing for like 160 yards. Baker Mayfield ain't throwing for like 400 yards in these games.
Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody said maybe Stefanski needs his credit. What are they? What are they now? What's their record? Are they
3-1?
3-1.
It's got to be the best record in like franchise history.
I did. So, Alyssa told me there was a stat about 3-1. The Browns historical. It is. It's like historically good. Maybe not the greatest ever, but in a certain amount of time, it's.
They definitely haven't been 3-1. Wouldn't you guess in like 20 years? And they didn't have a franchise for about 10 of them, right?
To me, Sunday Night Football doesn't become Sunday Night Football until the lights take effect. You know
how fast before some Bay Area reporter starts tweeting that she doesn't have it over her nose?
Well,
that's going to happen.
It fell. $100,000 fine to Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah. Okay.
She gonna get hit with $100,000. Score predictions here.
I'll go Niners 28, Eagles 23.
I'm gonna go. God, I like that. I want to go higher. I'm gonna go 31. 30. I don't like that. I'm gonna go lower. I'm gonna go 24-21. Niners.
One thing I tell Carson is like, bro, in Philly, the sun doesn't stop coming out around October. There's some tanning boosts. You can get a little. That's
what you used to do in Philly, right?
Yeah. Carson, you naturally, when you're that redhead, you're a little whiter. You look pale, Carson. You need to get a coat, especially if you're going to throw all these picks. Get a little tan coat.
Mitch Wisnowski kicks it away, and we gone. Yes, podcast will be out later. Thanks for hanging out with us. Subscribe to the YouTube.
Do it. And the podcast. Do it all. Subscribe.
Yeah.